Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.
ABC Wednesday.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises, too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with the new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there?
Taking bribes.
Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary. Season premiere Wednesday, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Angel's a vampire. You're a slayer. I think it's obvious what you have to do.
It is a slayer's duty.
Yeah, I know you have feelings for this guy, but it's not like you're in love with him, right? You're in love with a vampire? What, are you out of your mind?
What?
Not vampire. How could you love an umpire? Everyone hates him.
Where did you get that dress? This is a one-of-a-kind Todd Oldham. Do you know how much this dress cost? Is this a knockoff? This is a knockoff, isn't it? Some cheesy knockoff. This is exactly what happens when you sign these free trade agreements.
Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching all of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, reviewing it, giving our reactions. We have never seen this show before, and we are your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And we're on episode 7 of this series, which is titled Angel. Directed by Scott Brazil, written by David Greenwalt. The original air date was April 14th, 1997, to an audience of 3.39 million people. A little bit of a dip from last time, but still pretty good.
Yeah, still solid numbers.
Yeah, this episode's jam-packed with excitement, adventure, hilarity, drama.
It's a doozy. It's hilarious. This episode's,
yeah.
It's only got one thing going for it, and they're driving it home, you know?
I was going to ask you, so we're not going to dive into this. We obviously haven't dived into the episode yet. Do you still think Angel's cool at the end of this episode?
He's cool, not suave, if that makes sense. Yeah. If that makes sense.
I think they exposed Angel for the actor that he is.
Well, it's one of those things where it's too much Angel too soon. It was like you got like little bits and pieces, scenes here and there, and now we'll get all of Angel. Yeah. And now I think they're going to pull him back, you know, and he'll do bits and pieces again, and they'll slowly. Yeah. I will say I'm impressed that a show that runs this long and has so many episodes, they're not spreading stuff out. They're not like, oh, he's a vampire, she's not going to find out until middle of season 2, you know? Yeah. Like, they're going for it. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely are, like, there's pacing in, like, the reveal of some of the stuff that's going on here. But, you know, I don't think Angel's cool anymore. Like, he was overexposed in this episode, I think, and now it's just like, oh, okay, he's a dork too. Yeah. I think they're all just dorky.
Yeah.
He does not act his age.
No, he does not. Yeah. All right, well, let's get into it. We open the episode with a recap of basically like Angel, who he is and all of his appearances, and then there's the Master who has this anointed one kid, and then we get the there's only one Slayer type of thing. Then the Master's playing with the anointed kid who is named Colin. Like, they ran out of names already. Like, well, there was already another vampire named Colin.
Yeah, there was. That was the one he killed, I believe.
Yeah.
But also Colin, I think, is the name of the vampire in What We Do in the Shadows. That's an energy vampire.
Okay.
That's really funny. So, like, hearing that, I was like, this is kind of funny. I mean, Colin as a kid's name that's supposed to be the anointed one is also so absurd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Tyler.
Yeah. Watch out, Colin's here.
Yeah, everybody else in this show has like such a bizarre name.
Yeah.
And this kid's name is Colin. Yeah, he's playing with the anointed one. Darla's back. She's, doing some villainous stuff, like just walking menacingly around, just like, ooh.
The master might be the lamest character in the whole show so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's like asking the anointed one, oh, what would you do with Buffy who killed everybody? He's like, I would annihilate her. I'm like, yeah, isn't that the whole plan, to kill her? Isn't that what you guys been trying to do the last?
Yeah, that's what everyone's been trying to do.
Yeah, it's
not
not
like,
like
you could ask any of those vampires.
Yeah.
None of them's like, I think I'm gonna go to like get a slushie with her and like learn about her family.
Yeah,
they're all like, I want to kill her.
Yeah, just kill her. That's their whole plan.
Yeah. But it's different when it's like a 10-year-old saying it.
That gets so weird in the show.
Yeah, dude. So apparently somebody named Zachary's been killed. And so this forces the master's hand. He's got to send the 3 to kill Buffy.
And you're just like, oh, what is this going to be? We've seen him send a lot of random things at him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then we get a shot of the 3. And they start off with like these 3 bald, like biker looking dudes smoking to like kind of give you like, oh, this is the 3. And then the 3 actually come around the corner, a nice misdirect for you.
Yeah.
And they have like football pads on and stuff.
It's almost like they have this medieval armor, kind of armor, like pseudo armor, like leather. They look like the fake, like the Genghis Khan characters in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Like it seems like that kind of prop work where it's just like, yeah, this looks like something that happened in a different time.
Yeah, we slapped this together really quick. We went to Party City, got this.
Yeah, but it's like, why are they dressed like this? They're the 3. Like all the other vampires just wear normal clothing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish they were like smooth. I wish they were like black suits, like Men in Black style or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's just to distinguish them from the other vampires because they're supposed to be special, but like
they are
like
not.
why are not? Yeah, they're very much not special. So then we get to the Bronze where they're having a fumigation party where there's roaches everywhere apparently.
They're picking up roaches with their hand and getting free drinks from it. That place also serves food, and this place is overrun. Like, roaches aren't just like, there has to be a super infestation for roaches to be out while people are around like that. Like, they're not even hiding.
Yeah, I feel like if you see like 1 or maybe 2 roaches, you could call the like health department and it would shut down a place.
I mean, what? And they're like, oh, they do this every year or every couple months. Like, what the fuck is going on?
The Bronze. I think the Bronze is the Hellmouth.
Yes, it absolutely is. I don't know. They're not coming up through the cemetery. This is the Bronze.
Yeah.
There should be like council meetings and stuff about all the parents. Like, we need to shut this place down.
Yeah. People are murdered there frequently. Yeah. There's roaches. They're underage drinking.
I haven't seen my kids in weeks.
Yeah.
They just, every night, I'm going to the Bronze, Mom.
Yeah. Then like 50-50 if they come home alive. So Buffy and Willow are talking about boys, and then Buffy's like, I don't know. I kind of wish Angel was here. And Willow's like, oh, I know what you feel. I feel that way about Xander. Like, I feel like we've had this kind of conversation like the last 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, and I was just like, do we have, like, it's like she sees Buffy moping, and I'm like, oh, is it because you just killed that Zachary guy, or you've been fighting vampires every day? No, you just need a man.
Yeah, you gotta have a guy with a black sport coat.
Yeah, and Willow's fawning over Xander is just troubling. I feel bad for her.
It's getting weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's now or if it's later, but Buffy's like, why don't you just talk to him? And she's like, oh no, if I talk to him, then I fucking have a meltdown.
Yeah. She's like, I just want him to kiss me. I fantasize he just kiss me. I'm like, you fantasize that while he's fawning over Buffy the whole time? Like, you're in a terrible love triangle.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But then we cut to Xander and he's dancing like a goof, dude.
Yeah.
Like a goof.
Like he needs to lock down Willow quick.
Yeah.
Like just lock that in. Like,
yeah, he goes up to some lady and he's dancing around her and he's like, hey, what's up? You want to dance? And then she's like, what? And then her boyfriend turns around. He's like a huge Samoan looking guy or something.
Yeah. We've seen other football players. This is the biggest one we've seen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Xander walks away and then he's just dancing awkwardly. And then he steps on Cordelia's shoe, welcome back, Cordelia.
Yeah. She's coming in hot.
She's been a non-player and she's like, these are $200 shoes you just stepped on. And he's like, whoops.
Sunnydale is balling.
Yeah.
Is that what the town is? Sunnydale?
Sunnydale, yeah.
Okay.
So Xander walks over to where Willow and Buffy are moping. And he's like, hey, let's go dance, everybody. And they're like, no, I'm moping. And then he's like, wow, you guys are moping.
That's more or less what happens.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Buffy gets up, decides she's going to leave because Angel's not there and she's feeling lonely. But little does she know, Angel is there and he's watching her from the shadows. What a creep.
Yeah, there's no reason for him to be doing this at this moment. Also, if I'm Buffy's friend, when Buffy leaves the Bronze, I'm going with her.
Oh, yeah.
Vampires exist, and they come to the Bronze every night. I'm like, I'm either with Buffy or I'm at home. Like, it's not even like...
Well, even for your own safety.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not going... Yeah. I'm going with Buffy so she can protect me. I'm not there to protect her at all.
Yeah,
like, Buffy, can you walk us home first?
I love their attitude. It's kind of like, Buffy, she's the Slayer. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
But then it's like, but you're not.
You're not.
And you're not fine.
Yeah. And you don't know if anyone in here is a vampire. You guys can't tell that Angel's a vampire and he's here.
Yeah. So Angel sees her in the shadows and she starts to feel his presence, I guess. She turns around and he disappears like Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Then she's walking home and she keeps feeling these presences and she keeps turning around and she's just like, look, I'm tired. Whoever's following me, just come out and confront me. And what do we know? It is the three. And they gang up on Buffy and they're really putting it to her. They got her restrained and then one guy is about to attack her and then Angel shows up and kicks that guy's ass. Then Buffy split kicks the other two, kicks their asses, and then Angel gets slashed by one of them, and then they run off. She's like, let's run.
Yeah, I wasn't sure why she was having such a struggle with these three.
Yeah.
Because they seem like they had her dead to rights. And I've seen her, I think we've seen her beat up more.
Yeah, I mean, at the Bronze, she fought like, seemed like at least 10.
Yeah, and she fought like that main guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I thought he was stronger than the three. Or whatever. We don't even know what the deal is with this three. Apparently, they're just brutish and strong, I guess. And she has no plan of like, oh, I guess I'm just going to walk home on these vampire streets.
Yeah. Yeah, after a little while, Giles does some research about the three, and they're just legendary vampires or whatever. Like, they don't really give too much context about them.
That scene, he comes out and he gives all this information, and Willow calls him out like, how do you know all this? He's like, well, I was up from midnight to 6 a.m. researching this.
Yeah.
Did Buffy call you and tell you this happened? Like, what made you start researching this?
Yeah, well, it's also like Willow in that scene is like, how do you know everything all the time? It's like Giles almost never knows anything.
Yeah, he's always this. He comes out like he's sweating from reading.
Yeah,
he's like, well, I just discovered this in an ancient text that I have somehow alphabetized.
Like, he didn't know about the pack thing. He didn't really know about what was going on with the teacher when it became a plant. Like
later in this one, he finds out about Angel from reading from diaries of other Watchers that he hadn't read in a while. Like, somehow he finds it, or Buffy finds it because he can't see this thing on the page.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "You mean this? It's like on the exact page that he was just on."
They kept detailed notes like, "Oh, the tattoo." Like, oh, okay,
right. So yeah, Buffy and Angel run to her home, and the three are following her, and then she shuts the door on them, and Angel's like, "Don't worry about it. Vampires can't come in unless they're invited."
Bullshit.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the first we're hearing about this,
and it doesn't hold up in this episode, and it doesn't hold up when you think about the other episodes that we watched.
Yep,
at all.
Yep.
Vampires do not need invitations. They kick windows in. They punch.
Yeah, I think they just threw that in to like build some kind of drama later on in the episode.
Yeah, I don't like. No,
but like that, it hasn't followed those rules, and even in this same episode, it doesn't really follow those rules.
And at this point, why run home?
Yeah,
like, and then it was just like, man, you just ran straight home. Like, you didn't run to the school, which I guess is like right around the corner, I'm sure, in this world.
Yeah.
But like, you ran right home. Now they know where you live. I guess they've always known, but like,
they've never been invited in though, Vance.
Oh yeah, that's been their biggest drawback. They go dressing up as door-to-door salesmen trying to get in.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that invitation thing works in this universe. Just because
it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, is it like you've been invited in once, so you're always invited? Like, how do you have to keep re-upping the invitation? Like,
yeah,
that's the only way I could see. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
So they close the door. Angel is cut up, so Buffy's like, "Let me take care of that for you, big boy. Take off your shirt."
Did we ever see the wound?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I saw blood on his t-shirt when they were running, but we never see the wound. So yeah, Buffy patches up his wound, and they're talking so incredibly close to each other. And Angel's giving her the look like, "You want this, don't you?" And she's got the, "You're a big, strong man" kind of look on her face.
Yeah.
And then her mom shows up. What a buzzkill.
I guess she just walked past the vampires.
Yep.
Her
mom, the vampires, like, they close the door on them, and they're like, "Oh, man.
Darn it."
Swiper, no swiping. They just leave immediately. They don't wait around.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, Vance. Do you know Buffy's mother's name? Because I just found out about it because I read what was on Wikipedia.
No, I don't know her name.
Her name is Joyce.
Okay.
We're 7 episodes in and we didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever said her name. Have they?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so either.
Who would she say it to? Her daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buffy, you know me, Joyce.
Joyce, your mom?
But yeah, her mom shows up and Buffy's like, "Oh, crap. Hey, Mom, you should go right to bed." And then she's trying to hide Angel, but then Angel, like a dope, just like walks right out. He's like, "Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Hey, nice to meet you." And the mom is like, "Buffy, it's a little late to be getting tutoring right now, so you should send your friend home."
Well, she says, "Oh, what do you do?" Like, she asked him about his job, like, right away. Like, that's your question? That's what you're asking this guy? He's a community college student. I guess we have a college here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. He's tutoring her.
Yeah, she's getting tutored a lot in this episode.
Oh, yeah. But is Buffy's the dumbest? Her mom must think Buffy's so stupid.
I felt bad for Buffy. I'm like, Buffy, you really shouldn't have to do any of this schooling. One, you're going to die before it becomes any use. And 2, like, someone should just be paying you to fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's
the Watcher should bankroll her.
Yeah, she's like a pro athlete, you know? Like, come on. Like, let her just protect you from vampires and you guys pay for her and she doesn't have to study.
And does the Slayer like slay until they die, or is it like just a teenage girl thing?
No,
like when she's like 30, she can pass it on.
I mean, if the Watchers can be that old, you know,
I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she lies about taking or walking Angel home, and then he sneaks back up into her room, and then we get some Angel backstory and some foreshadowing / clues about what and who he is. He's talking about like his family was killed by vampires and he avenges them, and he's trying to fight vampires now. And Buffy's like, oh, okay, you're cool then. They have a little sleepover. And then he is just got so many like cringy lines. And so does Buffy.
Do you snore? I've never been in a room with someone to find out.
No.
What?
No. He says it's been a long time since someone.
like, is that cool? Great, sure.
Yeah. Been a while since someone's been around to tell me.
I know I was just chased in here by vampires and wounded, but I'll sleep on the floor. It's cool.
Yeah, right.
And I guess he stayed there all day.
Dude, right? So, hold on.
Yeah, I know I'm skipping ahead, but that's just...
right. Isn't that fucking insane?
Well, I was wondering how he was going to deal with I can't walk in daylight.
Yeah. I thought he would sneak out there in the middle of the night.
That would have been a smart move.
Yeah. But instead, Buffy goes to school and she's telling Xander or Willow about Angel and how, he was such a perfect gentleman. And Willow's like, what was he like? And Xander's so jealous.
Those looks that they gave when she's like, he was a perfect gentleman. Willow looks like she's about to faint.
Right?
When she's like, oh my God, he didn't try anything. Even though she wants Xander to like take her behind the bookcase.
Yeah. And of course, Xander's mad jealous about it. And he's like, what the hell? You were around Angel? I'll kick his ass. You should stay at my place and we'll make sure the Angel's not like, it's all this stupid stuff.
I do love it. Like if the look on Buffy's face when he says that, it's just like an eye roll and like, you're so dumb.
Yeah. So then this is when Giles is talking about the three who are warrior vampires, and we find out that if they fail in their mission to kill the Slayer, they offer their lives to the Master. And then we cut to immediately that happening.
Yeah. And there's like a little bit of leeway where you think, oh, maybe he won't kill them. And I'm like, yeah, maybe don't kill these three people we just got introduced to that were really close if another super vampire didn't show up.
Yeah.
And you were just, the Master was just whining about, oh, I lost Zachary and they've killed so many of us. And I'm like, dude, you've killed half of them yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't stop here because he's talking to the Anointed One and he's like, killing these guys would bring me little joy. And then he like gives a wink to Darla and Darla kills him. And he's like, but sometimes a little joy is enough.
I'm just like, what are they doing in this little hell mound? What is that? Like, that was your plan? She's like, I'll send the three after him. Oh, how did she get past you? Well, she closed the door. And, yeah.
Oh, so you failed. So you die.
So that's failure. Like,
well, there is no tomorrow, so you're dead.
How about we keep sending you until she kills you or you kill her? I got nothing to lose by sending you guys out there. This is a waste of resources.
It's so stupid.
And it's like, wait, they were just introduced to the show so that Angel could save her?
Basically, I guess. I mean, it seems like such a pull of the rug out from under us.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, she'll be fighting them throughout the whole episode or like maybe a couple episode arc or something because these are like legendary warrior vampires. Nope. Halfway, maybe not even halfway through the episode.
No, we're like a third, yeah.
Yeah, by Darla.
And like not putting up a fight, just like, oh, we failed. Like they haven't failed in all these eons.
No, yeah, right?
You have a group of people that have not failed, and you didn't think to send them out during the harvest.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was about to say is like they have all these legendary vampires
Yeah.
and they like send them out one at a time. Like, dude, just swarm them.
Yeah. Or like what Darla's trying to do at the end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So then when Giles was talking to Buffy about the 3, he's like, we need to take up our combat training. We need to do something a bit more than hand-to-hand combat. And in the library prison, he has like a whole armory.
Yes. It's like a museum's worth of like ancient weaponry.
He's got like a giant axe, a crossbow, swords, and
Exposed too. Like it's not behind anything. There's no secret paneling. It looks like it's just out there.
Well, what I saw, I think there was a secret door. Because I was like, how could we not see that when Xander was locked in there? But I think that there was a door. Okay. So I will give them credit, but I had the same reaction as you when I first saw. I was like, what the hell? This was just out here?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of library is this?
Well, what kind of library is it where he puts on pads and like all of his stuff and they're fighting just in the library, middle of the day?
Yeah.
Not after hours.
Yeah, he puts on pads and then they have like a bow staff fight.
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, all right, I don't want to train with this. I want to use the crossbow. And he's like, you gotta use the basics first. All right. This is a bow staff. You're not always going to have a crossbow. And then he's like, you want to put on pads? And she like laughs at him. She's like, I don't need to put on pads, dude. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then so she just whoops up on Giles.
I was like, is this the moment we're going to learn that Giles has some combat training? Nope.
That's what I was thinking. Buffy just like handily defeats him within seconds. Like he gets a couple of like
stick hits.
Yeah, like rallying,
like
stick hits. Like it seems like he's just like it looked so bad too.
Yeah.
But then when Buffy kicks it up a notch and just like wham, wham, trips him, and he's like, okay, you can do the crossbow. I don't want to get.
She hit him everywhere he didn't have pads on. It was just great. It was like, dude.
Yeah, she hit him. He had like a chest protector, a helmet, and like some arm stuff. She hits him in the back, in the butt, and like sweeps the leg.
Yeah. And I'm like, what did you think? Haven't you seen her fight already? Like,
right, dude?
Like, why are you equipped to train her? You're not a fighter. Like, none of this makes sense. It's like these, we need a fighty stunt person action scene really quick.
Yeah.
And using the bow staff is not going to make her, it's not like, oh, you're good at a bow staff. Now try a crossbow. 2 different weapons. No skills.
Completely different.
No skill set crossover.
Different.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Plus, the bow staff wouldn't kill a vampire because it's not sharp.
Yeah.
Like if the ends were sharp, yeah, for sure.
Oh, double sharpened end bow staff.
Right?
Yeah, where she can just like poke, hit, poke. Yeah.
Or even just like spikes on each end.
Yeah,
well, obviously you can't use that against Giles, but you know.
Giles thinks he's so good that he could defend it anyway.
Yeah, he just kills Giles.
You are ready for the crossbow. His dying breath.
So after this little fight sequence, Buffy goes home and Angel's still there. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
And he's just like in a corner standing.
He was hiding in a closet at one point.
Yeah. And like Buffy's diary's out and she's like, you read my diary? How dare you? Hunk means a bunch of different things now these days. And I could have meant that you're like a butthole and you're swarming or like smoldering eyes. That's a bad thing. And he's like, I didn't read your diary. Your mom came out and she was like cleaning stuff and I hid in a closet. And she's like, whoops.
I hid in the closet. Like, was he like, hey, she's like, I'm sorry, I have to go to school, but if you want to like stay upstairs all day, fine. Like, yeah, like he's older than her. It's not even like someone having like a young friend over or like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's no reason why he would stick around there.
Well, it's also, so Buffy comes up and she's brought him dinner. Mm-hmm. So she knows that he's still there.
Yeah. If he had like come back over and it's like, there's no sign of the 3, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But
yeah.
So she gives him the dinner and then he just like kind of tosses it aside.
He's like, I can't eat this shit.
Another clue. And then he's like, I can't be here anymore because anytime I'm around you, I just think about kissing you. And she's like, you what? He's like, I can't do it. I'm like older than you. And she's like, that doesn't like how much older? And then they kiss. And then he pulls back and then he reveals, dun, 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 vampire face. Then he crashes out of her window.
It crawls down the rooftop. They show him crawling down the rooftop, which is so funny. And then Buffy screams when she sees his face.
Yeah.
And the mom comes in and the mom's like, what was it? And Buffy, in classic can't make an excuse, goes, I saw a shadow.
Yeah.
What?
If I was the mom, I'd be like, explain the broken window.
Explain the broken window, the sound I heard, and you thought you saw a shadow and you screamed at the top of your lungs?
Dude.
Like, not a realistic excuse at all.
This show is incredible.
They went all out with that kiss, too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I thought it was going to be like, oh, there's a kiss. They got the shot, but they were like, going for
necking.
It. Yeah, I was like, are they going to go all the way here? Because this isn't one of those kisses that stops.
Yeah. So then Buffy tells everybody that she kissed Xander. Or not Xander, Angel. No. God no. That definitely didn't happen. Buffy tells Willow, Xander, and Giles that Angel is a vampire. But she kissed him, and then Willow's still kind of like, but was it a good kiss?
Yeah, she's girlfriend mode all the way. Like, she's like, I'm still in.
And I absolutely love Xander. He's just like, well, guess we gotta kill him.
Your Slayer, he's a vampire. Gotta do it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sharpening stakes right now.
It's like, eliminate the competition. This guy's gotta go. And I love that Giles is like also kind of like, I mean, he is right. Yeah.
Giles has that like befuddled Hugh Grantness where it's like, touching his glasses. Well, I guess, well, technically, by the properties of vampire slayer, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you gotta kill the guy. And then Buffy's just like, well, great. The guy I got a crush on, I gotta kill him. Womp, womp, womp. And it's so funny.
And then there's something like, well, it's like, it's fine. It's not like you love him. And she's like, And she's like, you love a vampire?
Yeah.
And then Cordelia walks by and she has this look of like, what?
Yeah. And then Xander covers, not vampire, umpire.
That's still so much better than any cover that Buffy's ever done.
It is, except he didn't need to say not vampire.
Yeah.
If he was if he would have just like turned around and was like, yeah, an umpire. It was a pretty good cover.
I mean, umpire, vampire, like, and at this point, Cordelia would be like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
But it turns out she's having a Joe's Fashion Corner moment.
Oh, yeah. She's having a moment to reprimand one of her underlings, I guess, about wearing the same dress on the same day. And she's like, yours is a knockoff. Mine's the real thing. This is a $200 dress. Or no, the shoes were $200. Yeah. I don't know how much this was.
Yeah.
But she's having a conniption.
It was like a polka dotty, very colorful dress.
It was very 90s.
We only got the chance to see the back of it. I don't know. It's very, like, you stand out in that dress.
Absolutely.
And it would be weird if two people had that.
Yeah.
Like, two people wearing a polo shirt, you're like, whatever. But this dress is specific.
Well, it's also, I mean, there's just so many women's clothes. Like, if two dudes are wearing the same clothes, it's like, oh, hey, this is funny.
Oh, you put on a black t-shirt and some jeans? Cool.
Yeah. But you'd have to really be very unlucky to be wearing that dress at the same time as somebody else.
Prime Big Deal Days is here with exclusive savings just for Prime members. Woohoo! Involuntary deal squeals can happen, like the deal on travel mug squeal. The deal on a new blender squeal. Yeah! Or the classic deal on electric toothbrushes squeal.
Oh, yeah! Woo!
Save big on electronics, fashion, and more this Prime Big Deal Days. On now.
So it's decided that Buffy is conflicted, that she's like, oh, I don't know. Do I need to kill Angel? And then we get clips of Angel coming home. We see his little nice little one-bedroom apartment type deal that's in the basement of like an electric plant, it looks like. I don't know. And he's walking around and Darla shows up and she's kind of just like enticing him to be a vampire again and being like, yeah, you're not one of the humans. Like, as much as you want to be one, you're not one. And he's like, I'm trying. And then she like opens a window and she's like, does the light still hurt you? And he's like, yes. But how did he get home if it's still daylight out?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. And they don't close that window again. They just leave it open.
And also, like, Darla's standing in it, and he's just like,
Yeah.
Like, the rules of the vampires in this world make no sense.
How does she get into his place? Can you get into a place that is a vampire's place? Do you not have to be invited into a vampire's home?
Dude, I have no idea. And I guess she can pick the lock with her vampire fingernails.
Yeah. I mean, she's able to get around in this episode.
Right?
Like, to this point, I'm like, you could just come up behind Buffy and strangle her. Like, you're stealthy.
Yeah. So then it's also kind of like hinted at that Angel and Darla have a history. And
remember Budapest?
Yeah, dude, it's always Budapest.
It's always Budapest. Every spy movie, every romance thing.
Yeah, what is going on in Budapest?
We're gonna have to take a trip.
Yeah. Well, then we're gonna end up like getting kidnapped or in some kind of espionage, Vance.
Coming live from Budapest, this podcast. Yeah.
But so then it's also kind of hinted at that there's some kind of curse that has been put on Angel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very mysterious, and it's just like, oh, you think that she's going to care about you even after you tell her the curse, or you think she can reverse the curse? Something like that. And then Darla walks out. Basically, she's trying to recruit him back to being a vampire and like fight alongside her.
Yeah.
Like they had before.
Mm-hmm.
And Angel's not happy about it. So then we get to a scene where Giles is reading about Angel in the history books with the Watcher's diaries, and he's like, oh, I never thought of this before. He used to be called Angelus or something.
Yeah, there's an Angelus, and they came over, and there's a history of being the most violent one, and he came over, and then blah, blah, blah. It's like this full history lesson of how dangerous Angel is. Even though, hey, mystery guy showing up in town giving me notes and clues. Not curious at all. Right. Not curious. Wait, not curious about this guy who's not in school, seems to know everything, isn't a watcher. Giles, that's all you should be doing is researching that person.
Right? No, he's just like, she's probably making it up. You know, chicks making up stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, some hot guy likes you. Boo.
Yeah. So, yeah, Angel has apparently just been a murderous, rampaging vampire for centuries until about 80 years ago he came to the United States and decided to shun the vampires and became a recluse. It's like, how would anyone have known that?
And then he traveled from Budapest by boat, I guess, and then he landed on the East Coast and then took the train all the way to Sunnydale.
Right?
Cross country to Sunnydale. Like, how? Why are you in Sunnydale? How did you get here? You can't travel during daytime. Like,
just walking at night, taking night greyhounds.
He put himself in a UPS package and just FedEx himself across the like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's so wild.
Yeah.
So Xander's really, at this point, Xander's like, yeah, dude, you gotta kill this guy. Like, this guy he's a psycho murderer, killed hundreds of people, and Buffy's still kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's hot. Like, why would he save me? And he's hot.
Yeah. If he was a fat, ugly guy, she'd be like, heart stab instantly.
Yeah, and then Giles is like, and he's got a tattoo on his back, and Buffy's like, yeah, it's like of a bird or something. And Xander's like, you saw him naked.
And meanwhile, Willow's just watching the love of her life just loses shit over everything Buffy does. Like, it's no subtlety that he's obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Because they all remember his rapey time as a hyena person.
Dude, he, like, doesn't even, like, look at... he looks past and through Willow. Yeah. Like, she is Mrs. Cellophane, you know?
Yeah. He, like, keeps Willow around because she keeps Buffy around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Buffy wouldn't hang out with Xander unless Willow was there, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because of, you know, what happened last time.
Yeah. She can't be alone with that
guy. Jesus. So Darla is talking to the master now, and she's like, I think we should kill Buffy.
We should do the thing that we've been planning to do all
and
this time.
And the master's like, sounds like you've got a plan.
She's like, I want to do it. He's like, I care too much about you. Or some weird, like, nonsense.
Yeah. And then she's like, how about we get Angel to kill her? And he's like, oh, man, I remember Angel. That guy was so cool.
He was my favorite at one point. Like, geez, what?
He's like, he was my right-hand man. That guy was the most destructive, heathen vampire I've ever seen. And Darla's like, we'll get him to do it.
He's like, how do you get him to do something for someone he cares about?
Yeah.
Because she's going to try to kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, Darla does come up with a pretty good plan, I thought.
It's a pretty decent plan.
From all the vampire plans we've seen, this is the best one.
But it doesn't make sense.
And it's really convenient.
See, it would make a lot more sense if she was trying to get Angel killed, her plan.
Well, her plan is getting... Yeah, exactly. Her plan would get Angel killed.
Yeah, but like, how? I don't understand how it kills Buffy.
It doesn't.
All right.
Yeah,
so
right.
Then we get Willow tutoring Buffy, and then Willow talks about her Xander fantasy. And
sometimes I wish Xander would take me and just kiss me. Like, she's like, are we going to study or talk about boys? And I was like, I don't know. And then Willow closes her book and just goes off.
Yeah. Let's talk about boys.
Let's talk about boys.
Screw the Reconstruction.
Yeah, you're never going to pass history, whatever. I'll just cheat off my test. So boys, right?
So then Buffy's talking about Angel, and she's like, I know he's a vampire, but I still like him. Yeah. Still think he's a hottie. And Darla is in the background, eavesdropping, just kind of like,
how is she in the library? How did she get into the school? How?
I don't know. Maybe she was invited by that guy. That's the only way I'm thinking this works, is if you get invited once, you're good to go forever.
No, my thing is like not even the invitation part here. How did she just sneak into Giles's library?
She's got a Catholic schoolgirl uniform on that no one wears at Sunnydale.
Yes.
That isn't a thing at Sunnydale. It's a public school.
Yes, not a Catholic girls' school.
Oh, jeez. So then the mom is home alone, and she's like reading or doing some mom stuff.
She claims she's doing IRS stuff, but it looks like she's just drinking tea and flipping through magazines.
Yeah. So then she hears something, and then she's investigating. Like, what was that noise?
When you hear a weird sound, do you immediately go to the front door and just open it?
No.
Like, what is she? No. Nothing that she heard sounded like it was someone at the front door.
Yeah.
It sounded like someone was in the house.
Yes. But that's not what. So she looks out a window, and then she turns her head, and Darla's giant vampire face is there. Mm-hmm. And then so she's walking through the house like, what could that have been? And then she gets a knock at the front door, and it's Darla. Mm-hmm. And she's like, hey, I'm here to help tutor Buffy. I'm a friend of Buffy's. We're friends. You've heard about me, right? And the mom's like,
I thought she was studying at the other place.
Yeah, I thought she was studying with Willow. And she's like, oh, yeah, she's supposed to study with me after. And the mom's like, yeah, that makes sense. Buffy's real stupid. Anyway.
Yeah, I was like, Darla's thinking quick on her feet.
Yeah.
And luckily she was able to eavesdrop so she knows what she was studying at school.
Yeah.
The mom does not know what she's studying. You could have said anything.
So then the mom is like, oh, okay, well, would you like to come in? And then we get like a slow pan to Darla's face. She's like, I'd love to. And then the mom's like, you want something to eat? And she's like, absolutely I do. She's like, you want something small or something big? And she's like, I want something big.
Yeah, like whoever said, do you want something small or something big? Like that wording is never used for food.
Yeah.
I want some small food today.
So it just so happens that Angel's walking by at this point and he's like going to go knock on the door. And he's like, nah, I really shouldn't. Why not? What? I don't understand. But then he hears a scream and then he kicks down the door. And this is where I was like, he wasn't invited in.
Yeah.
But that's the only way that this works is if you've been invited once, you're good to go. But he comes in, Darla's feeding on the mom, and Angel's like, what are you doing? She's like, don't you want to have some fresh blood? I know it's been a while for you because he's got like a fridge full of like IV packets of blood or whatever.
Somehow he just steals from hospitals.
Yeah. So then she tosses Joyce over to Angel and he's like staring at her like, oh God, I don't know. I can't. And then Darla dips. And then this is right when Buffy comes in.
When Darla dipped, did she just dip just cuz? Or did he tell her to get out of there? Like,
I think that he was like paralyzed with vampire urges and she is doing like a, I know you want it, like kind of seductive walk away. So I think that's what was going on. But then Buffy comes home, sees Angel holding her bitten mother.
Mm-hmm. He's got vampire face.
Yeah, he's definitely vampire faced. And then the next thing we see is Angel getting DJ Jazzy Jeff outside of Buffy's house.
Yeah. It's a commercial break, I feel like. And then it comes back and it's just him being thrown out the window. She tossed him so far.
Yeah, she chucked him through that window, dude. And then she like stands outside. She's like, and don't you come around here no more.
Yeah, at that point, I'm like, you just kill him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no questions. There's no, don't come back. Like, you just saw him and rightfully so would assume he's the one that bit your mom.
Absolutely.
Like, there's no other gray area there. So you just kill him immediately.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, yeah.
This was a great framing by Darla.
Yes.
Like, she framed him pretty good.
Yeah. If she wanted to get, you're right, if she wanted to get him killed, because it does not seem like he's strong enough to kill Buffy.
Yeah, I mean, she just brutalized him.
Yeah.
But also, like, why didn't Angel try and explain? Like, he just accepts
logic.
It. Yeah, I guess
so.
so.
Like, but I could explain this in like one sentence. No, you get out of here.
Yeah.
And also, I wouldn't have bought his explanation. No, Darla, remember that vampire from the first episode? She didn't.
Yeah, I know that she probably wouldn't have bought it.
Yeah,
but at least tried. Just don't
we don't know if he tried, and then she just threw him out.
Yeah, yeah, that could have been an off-screen thing. I guess
I didn't do. Whoa.
Yeah.
But how do they show up though? The friends right now, Willow and Xander show up.
Yeah.
Did they not see a guy being thrown out the window or glass in the street?
Do you know how much money this mom has to spend on windows?
Yeah. What is her explanation of when she gets back home and she's like, wait, yeah, well, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Like, I cut my neck and the window broke?
Yeah. So we get to the hospital where like Buffy calls the hospital and the mom is like in the hospital. Buffy, the friends, and Giles show up. Mm-hmm. And the mom is like, yeah, I must have fainted. They said that it looks like I landed on like a barbecue fork, but we don't even own one of those. No. And then she looks over and she's like, are you another doctor to Giles?
Yes, I love that line.
And he's like, no, I'm not. And she goes, oh, right, you're the librarian. Why are you here? And he's like, oh, I just wanted to send my condolences, I guess. And she's like, wow, everybody's really nice at the school.
Yeah. Especially the principal that was eaten to death. Someone was eaten to death at the school.
I do love that she called out, like, why is the librarian here?
Yeah, it's like all the kids and then this old British guy.
Yeah.
And this is the moment when I was like, oh, yeah, they're going to hook up at some point.
Right? Same.
Yeah.
I was like, the mom and Giles are going to get it on.
There's nobody else in his age bracket for him to hook up with in the show.
Yeah. So the mom is giving some vague description of like what happened. She's like, yeah, last thing I remember, your friend came over, said that they were going to tutor you. And then your friend, I must have passed out and your friend must have been horrified.
I'm playing the pronoun game.
Yep. And then Buffy's just like, that's it. I got to kill him.
Wait, which is weird because the information she just gave was what you saw. It's not new information. This isn't going to trigger you to be like, he did do it. You saw him holding her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then she goes to the library armory, gets the crossbow, and she does one practice shot. And she's like, I'm good to go.
On a smoking sucks poster.
Yeah.
Like that she has in her room or something.
I don't know.
I was like, maybe that's at the school. I don't know.
I thought that was at the library.
Might be at the library. I love it. Was like this like cool looking. It was like an angel looking person, and it said "smoking sucks."
So then Darla's taunting Angel now. She's like, "You definitely got to be a vampire now, dude. She doesn't like you anymore. You got caught red-handed." And then the Angel's just like, you know what? I guess you're right. What?
Why is he not like, I'm going to break your neck? You just set me up.
Yes. It's like, why would he now go on your side?
I think at this point he's thinking, Darla is kind of sexy. And she has been like, she is throwing out some stuff I might want to do. Like eat people, hang out with her.
Yeah. I was thinking like maybe now, I don't know. I don't really know. But so Buffy goes to the Bronze to find Angel. She got a crossbow.
Can you explain to me this? Why would he be at the Bronze?
Because he lives by the Bronze.
It's not even open. It's fumigation day. It should be like uninhabitable for people.
Well, what time is it, do you think?
8 p.m.? Somewhere 8, 9, maybe 10.
Oh, because I was like, why is the Bronze closed?
Fumigation.
Fumigation.
The fumigation. Yeah, they were like, how can we empty out the Bronze for one night? It can't be closed. It's open every night. You know those clubs that are open Wednesday nights?
Yeah. All right. That makes sense. Yeah. So she goes there to confront Angel, and Angel's in the shadows. And then he kind of gives like his own personal history of like, I killed so many people. I killed my parents. I killed their friends. I killed their friends' kids. It's like, why are you doing this?
I was just like, this is where I was like, he's not suave. I'm like, are you trying to make a case for yourself? Or are you trying to incriminate yourself more?
Well, I thought that at this point he was like, just kill me so I don't have to be around.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going on.
Yeah.
And so then Buffy like tries to shoot him a couple times and misses. And then he's just like standing still and he's like, go ahead, shoot me. And then she like shoots. He's like, oh, you missed a little wide.
Yeah, and then we cut to her and we see her arms all the way wide, right?
Right.
Like to the point where she would have shot in a different room.
Yeah. So then she's just like, why did you save me? Why were you doing all this? And then I think this is when Darla shows up, or he talks about his gypsy curse or whatever.
Yeah, Darla shows up at some point and he talks about his gypsy curse and how like when you're bitten by the vampire, the demon takes over, but it doesn't get your soul. And I bit a girl around your age, which makes me why I'm attracted to you, I guess. And she was a gypsy girl, and the gypsies cursed me. They didn't try to kill me; they just cursed me so that I would feel remorse for my stuff.
It was basically like once you become a vampire, you don't have a soul or conscience or feel bad about your actions. Yeah. But the gypsies put that part of his life back in him, so he feels terrible, and I guess that's why he shunned all the vampires afterwards.
Which is like a very specific gypsy curse.
Right?
Like they were like, oh, vampires, we know enough about them that they don't have consciences. What could we do? Let's make him feel bad about what he's done. And I was like, all right.
You'll live with this guilt forever.
And then he's like, all right. And he ate them all and he felt bad again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Darla shows up and she's like, aren't you too cute? And then Buffy's like, you're looking pretty old and haggard.
And that's, I guess this is when, she's like, oh yeah, you're old because you're old. Because of Budapest.
She's like, yeah, but you know that he's like 200 and something years old. And then Buffy's like, you're looking a little rough around the eyes. And then talking about how she and Angel used to have a history and they were dating, I guess, in Vampire World. And he killed a bunch of people with her.
She created him, she said.
Yeah.
She's the first one to bit him.
Which is a nice little twist, right?
Yeah. And one where you're like, she seems really high up. As like the master was like, oh, he was my favorite. And she's like, dude, I made that.
So this is when shit hits the fan and it gets wacky.
I've been asking for this for so long.
Dude, this is my favorite thing that I've seen in television. So
it's
Buffy
amazing.
Has her crossbow and she's like, well, don't worry, I'm going to kill you. And she's like, ooh, a crossbow, huh? Well, guess what I got? And she pulls out 2 guns.
And she's holding them like straight forward, locked elbows, like a robot. It is amazing.
It's the greatest thing. And she just starts shooting. She shoots Angel and he's like, whoa!
She's like, don't worry, bullets can't kill us, but it does hurt and stop us. And I'm like, yes, get guns now.
Yes. So then she's shooting at Buffy. And then at some point, she's on top of a pool table.
Yes.
Buffy trips her, pushes the pool table, and then she's got her robot arm sliding backwards like... That was my favorite scene I've ever seen of anything.
Yes, it is so... It's done so 90s TV style.
Yes.
It's like, how is she missing? She's a vampire. I guess she doesn't know how to use guns. I don't know. But it's so funny to see her sliding backwards and still shooting. And I can't wait to get more of this. I can't wait to get more shootouts.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my God.
It's like... Like the fact that she just brought guns to a crossbow fight and was just like, I'm done with this. I'm going to shoot everybody. That sliding on the pool table thing, though, was just so bad looking, but hilarious.
So, like you could just see that the pool table's on wheels and being pulled and she's just shooting. It's so good.
It was amazing.
But before all of this happened, Xander has one of my favorite rational lines that he's ever had.
Okay.
Giles, because they're in the hospital and Giles is talking to the mom, and the mom's like, I don't know why he's still talking to her by himself.
Because they're going to hook up?
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, yeah, Darla, and she came over, and then she finally uses a name. And he's like, wait, Darla? It was her? Huh. And she's like, oh, maybe someone should check on her. Poor girl must have been frightened and ran away. Yeah, this girl saw you fall on a fork that you don't have. Yeah. And then didn't try to help you and ran away. Yeah.
And then ran herself out of the window, which would explain.
Yeah, that's what you think happened. Good job, Mom. Good detective work. But then Giles rounds up his posse of Willow and Xander. And they're headed to the Bronze because where else would the fight happen?
Mm-hmm.
And while they're going there, Xander's like, what are we going to do about it if she's fighting Angel and a bunch of other vampires? And they just look at each other like, oh, we didn't think about that. Giles, you have a locker full of weapons.
Yeah.
Why do you guys have none?
Dude, Giles has a locker full of weapons. Buffy has a chest full of weapons. Like, remember when she pulled out a chest in her room and just had all this, like, garlic and spears and stuff?
Yeah.
There's so many weapons, and they're just walking in with, like, Xander's, like, one button-down shirt that he buttoned the bottom button like
I'm just
an
like,
idiot.
I'm like, why are we not preparing for a big fight?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it. They set that stuff up. Even Darla's bringing guns to a crossbow fight. Like,
yeah.
And she's a vampire.
So I forgot about this part.
And they show up and they're like hiding behind something or on the top thing or whatever. And they're like, how can we help her? And then Darla's shooting. Buffy's pinned down. And then Willow goes, it was Darla, not Angel. And then Darla starts shooting at him. Yeah. Guess what? Buffy knows that already.
Yeah.
She's being shot at by Darla.
Yeah.
like that information is not helpful. And that's all they do in that scene. That's it.
Yeah, and then this is when Buffy comes up with her crossbow and shoots her in the stomach, and she's like, close but no cigar.
Yeah, close but no heart. And it's like, Buffy, I guess you should have done more than one target shot.
Right.
Or maybe bring another weapon. You killed vampires before.
Right?
Like, just break a pool stick and throw it at her.
Right, you did that like two episodes ago.
But she does have guns now.
That's true. It's not a close combat situation anymore.
The RoboCop vampire is just...
So, I don't know how it happens. I don't know what the sequence is, but I know that Angel stabs her in the back and kills Darla.
Yeah. And Darla feels really betrayed at this moment.
He literally and figuratively stabbed her in the back.
Yeah.
She turns and she's like, I made you. How? I am your mother. I am your mother.
I'm your mother lover. I don't know. Budapest. Remember Budapest?
Yeah. So then she dies. Angel gives her a smolder look. And he's bathed in orange and black light. And it's like, okay, now we're back to cool Angel.
I gotta say, his brooding and smoldering is, I'm sure that's why it was cast. Just on that alone. Like, if it was close between him and anyone else, I don't know who they were looking at, but that brooding look that he does is pretty great.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So then he runs off and the day is saved. The master is hella pissed.
He's like breaking shit.
Yeah. He has something from like a collection basket, it says. From like a church. He's smashing some candles. He's like, she was my favorite. And then the anointed one is just like, hey man, it's not gonna be that bad. You know, you got me now. I'm the anointed one. Did you forget about me?
Yeah.
And he's like, you're right.
And he grabs him by his hand and walks him away. And it's got a real pedo vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's really not cool looking.
Yeah. Well, also at this point, the anointed one, Colin, his voice is like distorted now.
Yeah, they have like some modulation on it.
Yeah. So we're starting to see the transformation.
Yeah. There was a scene earlier with him, I think, when Darla was complaining and he's sitting in the back of the frame and his eyes are just darting around. He has such a weird look on his face.
Yeah.
Like, and I wasn't sure if it was like the kid actor not knowing what to do or trying to look kind of I don't know, which is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So then we're back at the bronze.
I had a question, actually.
Okay.
How did the master know that Angel killed Darla?
Maybe Giles told him. I don't know. But yeah, like he's like, and he was killed by Angel, my former right-hand man. I was like, it's like, how do you know that?
Yeah, who came? What other vampire told you that?
Maybe you viewed the security cameras at the bronze.
Yeah. Oh, I got more to say about the bronze, but sure, yeah.
Oh yeah. So now the bronze is back open.
Mm-hmm.
It's the post-fumigation party, and Buffy's like, well, what does that mean? And then Xander's like, that means that the roaches are even bigger now, and if you find them, you get a free drink or whatever. Oh, God.
Yeah, and then she's like, I don't know. I guess I won't see Angel anymore. He's in there.
Yeah. Buffy's like, I don't know, I guess I'll just never see him, and I just feel like he's still watching me. And Willow's like, that's because he is. He's right over there.
You go get it, girlfriend. Like,
and then Xander's just like, why would you do this to me? He's like, I'm not going to watch. I'm going to just turn my back.
Yeah.
So then Buffy walks over and she's like, hey there, stranger. And he's like, you know that this can never be a thing, right? She's like, yeah, it makes sense. And he's like, I'm probably going to take a hike for a bit. She's like, yeah, that also makes sense. And then they have a breakup kiss. And then we cut back to Xander and Willow's just like googly eyes at them. And Xander's like, I don't want to know he's like, I want to know what's going on. And she's like, they're just talking. And it's like, as long as they're not kissing. And they are like full on making out, dude. Yeah. And Willow's like,
like she's getting all like turned on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of, they break up. Buffy goes her separate way, and then Angel's kind of just like looking at her broodingly, and then that's the episode.
Yeah, I know we've talked about this a bunch, about the bronze. Mm-hmm. But how the hell are they open?
Yeah.
There are bullet holes everywhere in that place. Like, there was a massive shootout. Like, if you came back in and you're like, the roaches got guns again, I guess. Like, what are you thinking? You show up at that place.
They're just like, well, I guess they're exterminating roaches with guns. I guess these days.
And if you're Buffy, Xander, and them, do you want to go to the bronze the next night? You were just almost murdered there multiple times.
It's where Cordelia hangs out, you know?
Yeah, like, I mean, I would find, like, they should hang out at the ice cream shop. They should have another spot to go to.
They could go to that one Starbucks that they have.
I mean, yeah. Like, and the mom's stolen the men. You know, like, they're just, like, out. I was just like, how is this place open?
Well, also, like, the pool table's destroyed.
The pool table was, like, pushed across the room. There's bullet holes all over the place.
There's a big pile of dust where Darla used to be.
And let's sweep up. I guess vampires bleed. He was shot. There's probably blood everywhere. With no, like, trace that you can't... Yeah.
The Bronze is a happening place, though, Vance.
And the thing about vampires having to be invited in... That episode when the vampires are told they can't come into the club and then they force their way in goes against all of that.
Yep.
That guy was like, you can't come in here. They're like, shut up. We're doing it.
Yeah, like there was an army of vampires rushing in.
Yeah. They were not invited. But
it's been retconned, Vance.
Yeah, it seems like they just threw that in for that one Darla scene. How is she going to be crafty enough to get invited in by the smartest mom ever?
The mom that doesn't know anything about her daughter.
Yeah. I think anybody could have showed up and been like, can I come in for a snack? She would have been like, sure.
Yeah. Well, that's just, she's a sweetie.
Yeah.
Her name is Joyce. Have you ever met a mean Joyce?
I will say that Darla doesn't look like she would be the age of a teen. She looks more like she's Angel's age.
Yeah, she's looking a little rough around the eyes, according to Buffy.
But I will say she definitely had the sensuality going when she was flirting with
when Angel like throws her up against the wall and she's like, I kind of like this. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of old times. And he's like, oh, I'm getting a boner.
He's like, I guess I'll kill Buffy because that'll help the vampire cause. Just leave town, dude. Just bounce. Right? Like,
go back to Budapest.
Yeah. Hop on that somehow train ride. I don't know.
Well, he's good during the day. He was walking around. Like, that shit doesn't make any sense, man.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Like, in the same scene, like, he walked home in the daytime. Darla opens a window, and he's like, ah!
We didn't see he had an umbrella, and we didn't see that he put it away before he walked in. He has, like, an umbrella canister out front. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That was off-screen umbrella.
Yeah.
He has to have a massive umbrella, dude.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think Giles and the mom will eventually hook up, and that should be fun when Giles is Buffy's stepdad.
That'll be so fun, and it'll be so funny. It'll lead to a great comedy.
And he'll be like, man, you have to treat your mom with some... Like, she's so airheaded in the show.
Yeah.
And, like, she's clueless because she has to be, but everyone in this town is clueless.
Yes.
Buffy's in love with a vampire? Wait, are you wearing my dress? Like, did you not hear what someone just said?
Well, speaking of great comedy, I'm going to assume that this next episode is going to be pretty comedic because the title of it is I, Robot, You, Jane.
Yes. I can't wait.
Hold on. I, Robot, ... You, Jane.
Oh, my God. Do you think this is going to be... Oh, man. I don't know. Is this going to have something to do with internet? I think it's really good. Is it caveman?
I have no idea, dude.
Robot and caveman?
I cannot wait to watch that episode, though.
I don't even know what to think. If it was like I'm Joyce, then I was like, oh, this is the Giles. I don't even know. This is going to be amazing.
Robot, You, Jane.
What?
Yeah. They're done with vampires.
Yeah. Okay, I don't even know. Yeah, I can't wait. That should be great.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to reach out to us, it's BoysWatchingBuffy at gmail.com and at BoysWatchingBuffy on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And that wraps it up. Until next time, see ya.
Seltzer Kings
Podcasts.